Do contraceptives really protect D.I.N.K couples? Hi, my name is JC and welcome to The Truth Project, where we talk about the truth about love, sexuality, and family. Previously, we talked about who D.I.N.K couples are. Dual income with no kids, by choice. Now, what if we are married, but we don't want to have kids?
We're dinks. We can play with other kids and give them back.
We're dinks. We still do it 3 times a week.
We're dinks. We don't use our kids or dog as an excuse to leave a party. We just leave.
We're dinks. We're gonna get asked daily when we plan on having kids. We're dinks. We have disposable income to spend on whatever we would like and don't have to spend on a kid.
We're dinks. We're gonna be asked constantly by family, friends, and strangers when we're gonna have kids. We're dinks. We're gonna support our friends who have kids, even if we decide to never have any.
We're dinks. We don't need to find a sitter or rope our family into babysitting when we want to go out for the night.
We're dinks. We're gonna be told the only way that we'll ever be fulfilled in life is by having kids.
We're dinks. We're not going to make a life-altering choice just because everybody else is doing it.
Period.
We're kid-free, so obviously everyone's gonna ask us, so, when are you gonna have kids?
We're kid-free. We love our family and friends' kids, even if we don't want our own.
You're high.
You're high.
I would.
We're kid-free. Karens are constantly gonna tell us, aren't we afraid of missing out? What if you never feel fully fulfilled or unconditional love without them? Well, Karen, don't you think that's a lot of pressure to put on your kids, all of your needs? I think we'll be okay.
We're kid-free. With only 2 mouths to feed, we can prioritize better Costco snacks.
I remember the conversation well. I was 42, and I was sitting at the dining room table with my new husband, and I had finally decided not to have children.
These couples who choose this lifestyle do not have kids resort to these different birth control methods, which are withdrawal, contraceptives, birth pills, and many does not realize its harmful effects to the person. Sa pagtagal ng relationship ng couples na gumagamit ng contraceptives, it reports less or lower marital happiness. Hindi na sila ganun kasaya sa relationship nila. It is also the reason bakit ang daming mag-asawa yung ang daling maghiwalay. Ang daling i-let go yung mga pinangako nila sa kasal at iwanan yung asawa nila because they don't have any kids. And obviously, there's societal collapse.
I mean, the urge to have sex and to procreate is, after breathing and eating, the most basic urge.
Yeah.
How has it been subverted?
Well, it's just in the past, we could rely upon, simple limbic system rewards
Yes.
in order to procreate. But once you have birth control and abortions and whatnot, now you can still satisfy the limbic instinct, but not procreate. So we haven't yet evolved to deal with that because this is all fairly recent, the last 50 years or so. For birth control. So I'm sort of worried that, hey, civilization, if we don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers, perhaps increase a little bit, then civilization is going to crumble. There's the old question of will civilization end with a bang or a whimper? Well, it's currently trying to end with a whimper in adult diapers.
Yes.
Which is depressing as hell.
Kapag maraming mga mag-asawa yung gumagamit ng contraceptives, walang bagong generation. Matatanda na lang yung natitira sa population natin. And again, there's lower workforce. When couples who use birth control pills, kapag dumating sa point na gusto na nilang magkaanak, tinigil na nila yung birth control pills, research say na mas mababa na yung chance na magkaanak pa sila kasi gumamit sila ng birth control pills.
Remy Cabello has been a volunteer reproductive healthcare worker for 15 years. She says she grew up among 12 siblings and had to start working at the age of 10 to help her parents. She didn't want that for herself and doesn't want it for the next generation of Filipino women.
First na mayroon kaming 18 na.
When I started volunteering, I remember there was one woman who had 18 children. When those 18 children became adults, we introduced them to contraceptives, and now they have fewer children.
Remy's own family represents a similar generational change. She has 2 children and 2 grandchildren. The country's fertility rate is now below the level that would sustain its population.
More than a decade after it passed the reproductive health law, the Philippines has successfully lowered its birth rate. The country has struggled with overpopulation for decades, but experts say the declining birth rate could lead to other problems, especially as the overall population gets older.
You know what? Ang pinakamalungkot, kapag hindi nag-work yung mga contraceptives na ginagamit, pero nakabuo pa rin ng baby, people resort to abortion, killing another life. It's not what these children and babies deserve. Kaya importante at mahalaga that we go back to the real purpose of marriage. Ano ba talaga yung rason bakit tayo ikinasal sa mahal natin?
When we look at Jesus and his death on the cross, we can actually see what makes for a complete marriage. Because Christ in his life, and particularly his death for our salvation, shows us that a marriage, a true relationship, one that's going to flourish, one that is this living out of the call to love in the eyes of God, is going to be free, total, faithful, and fruitful.
Marriage should be free. Kusang pagbibigay ng sarili. Yung mahal mo, hindi mo pinipilit yung sarili mo, at lalo na, hindi mo rin siya pinipilit sa'yo. It should be free. Faithful. Walang pag-aalinlangan. Siya lang at wala ng iba. Hindi pwedeng mahal mo siya at mahal mo rin sila. Ang tunay na nagmamahal, and lalo pa in the context of marriage, should be faithful. Total. Buong-buong pagbibigay ng sarili at buong pagtanggap din dun sa taong minamahal mo. You will accept everything about him or her. And part of it is that person's capability to bear a child para sa mga babae. Buong pagtanggap sa kung sino siya at paano siya ginawa ni God. And lastly, fruitful. Ang pagmamahalan niyong dalawa will eventually bear fruit. Nagbubunga sa pagkakaroon ng baby. So, do contraceptives really protect D.I.N.K couples? Definitely not. Because it not just destroys their marriage, but it destroys their well-being as a person. Yung physical, mental state nila, it also is being affected. It not just destroys their marriage, but it destroys the beautiful gift of sex that was given to a man and a woman married in front of the altar. Ito yung isang regalo that we need to safekeep and protect. Kaya naman, kailangan nating maintindihan ano nga ba talaga yung dapat nating protektahan. That is the beauty of sex. Na yung sex ay hindi ginagawa dahil lang gusto mo o dahil lang you feel like doing it. Sex on its true context and purpose ay ang pagtingin sa halaga at dignidad ng taong mahal mo at pagtanggap nito. And what's beautiful about this gift is that it's life-giving and love-giving. Ang tunay na mag-asawa ay nagmamahalan at bukas sa pagbuo ng buhay. Because having children is not a threat. It is a gift, and that is the truth. Thank you, my dear friends, for watching. See you again next week. This is The Truth Project, changing lives one truth at a time.